Welcome back to Championship Court as we get set for our first of two semifinals matches in the mixed doubles as we welcome in the fourth member of our crew, AJ McCord, who has more on Mari Humberg. Hey, AJ.
Yeah, hey, Dorian. A beautiful day for pickleball here in Flushing. I was catching up with Mari before her match right now with CJ Klinger, talking about their partnership and what they like about it, because they have played together a few times before, but it's been a few tournaments, and she said that she feels like CJ grows a few inches every single time they play together, and she loves the way that he has developed his game on the court. She said that she feels like she really plays the role with him of sort of that come up, that pick up for him on the court. She reminds him all the time, hey, you are the best player on this court. Act like it. I want you to take these balls. I want you to be aggressive. She said for her own game, last year, she threw a lot of things at her opponent. She figured out how many arsenals she actually had in her tool belt, and she said, I'm just going to throw each of them out and see what sticks. This year, she's trying to be a little bit more strategic. She said it was great that her opponents didn't know what was coming because she hardly knew what was coming half the time, but now she wants to be a little bit more strategic this season and certainly expect to see that play out with her and CJ off the court. She told me she's actually working really hard to grow the game of pickleball back home in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and so expect to see a lot more Portuguese content out of Mari Humberg this year because she really wants to make sure that as much as she continues to grow here in the U.S., she wants her home country and her native Brazilians to also experience the joy that is playing pickleball.
Thanks, AJ. Mari's mom, Tanya, was in Miami, got to see her daughter play, and it was fun. They were exchanging Portuguese as Mari was coming over to the sidelines. It was a great opportunity to see mother and daughter in that environment together as we get set for first serve here on Championship Court between Mari Humberg and CJ Klinger and Riley Bohnert and Eric Oncins. Now, Humberg and Klinger, they knocked off Megan Fudge, Jack Monroe in a fantastic quarterfinal match that went 3 as we are underway.
So in this matchup, it's going to be interesting because you have Oncins and Klinger going to be face up on each other because Klinger's left-handed. So it puts him on the right side. So it'll be interesting to see the two ladies face off against each other and then the two guys as well.
Ooh, nice
Bohnert getting the best of that already.
Yeah, nice counter there from Bohnert. She was looking for the step over from Klinger there, but just like you were talking about, Dom, you know, Humberg is not afraid to go behind the guy. She's going to keep Oncins honest, and he's really wanting to get big in the middle.
Oncins getting big in the middle. The tweener, though, from Klinger at the kitchen line has been a little bit of a patented move. We've seen him bust it out a couple of times in the tournament.
Yeah, that's a nice move there by Oncins, though, covering that middle after he got pulled wide.
Nice put away there from Humberg.
Oh, yeah, Oncins just getting caught in a tough position there in transition as we take a look at that tweener there from CJ Klinger.
Klinger has good hands, but couldn't come up with the dig there.
Well, if you beat Klinger in a hands battle, that's a win you take and you put in your bank right there because, again, Klinger, some of the fastest hands, great resets. What a nice job there from Oncins.
Oncins has just as quick hands, played college tennis at FGCU, just finished up, and you can see the transition in his game with how fast his hands are up at the kitchen line and those volleys.
Stepping in right now, Oncins all over Klinger.
Well, what a great reach in, though. He uses his length to his advantage right there, reaches in, and all he does is a nice little easy wrist flick and almost surprises Klinger just enough. Look at the wind.
The wind picking up here on Championship Court as it is whipping right to left across your screen. Humberg and Klinger black tops. On the opposite side is Riley Bohnert and Eric Oncins in the white and blue. Right now, it's just easy work for Bohnert and Oncins. What is feeding into what they like right now?
Well, you're talking about two different strategies here from each team. Oncins and Bohnert are much more aggressive. Yeah, Oncins and Bohnert are much more aggressive. Oncins wants to speed that ball up. He wants that fast pace. Klinger and Humberg are more of the slower pace. Trust their hands when they get in the hands battles and the exchanges. So Oncins and Bohnert are just hitting excellent shots right now, and excellent spots, I should say.
An early timeout taken here by Mari Humberg and Carson Klinger as they have fallen behind 5-1 here early on. As we take a break here in the booth as well, our Tervis hydration break. And fellas, with the way that Humberg and Klinger ended their match against Megan Fudge and Jack Monroe, a little bit of a surprise here early on coming out. What do they need to change tactically to get back in this first game?
Well, honestly, I think CJ Klinger is one of those players that he gets better as the match goes on. They did lose game 1 to Fudge and Monroe 11-4, but then they fought back in 2 and 3. So, I think it's still a feeling out process right now for Humberg and Klinger.
They've got to slow it down. They literally have to get the game into longer rallies, slow the game down, get it into their pace. That's the biggest thing, I think, for me.
Slowing it down against Fudge and Monroe was what yielded benefits as that sails long off the paddle of Oncins.
The difference was with Fudge and Monroe will play that, right? Right here, Oncins and Bohnert are going to look to be aggressive on any ball they think they can attack. So that's going to be a little bit of a difference there.
Nice step in there.
And that's the difference right there, too, is also think about Mari Humberg was going cross-court with Megan Fudge. Fudge doesn't have the reach that Oncins have. So Oncins is going to be able to reach in and take that cut backhand out of the air and roll it just like you did right there.
Klinger trying to go the cross-court. Ernie a little aggressive there, especially in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, trying something new right there, but also the wind held that ball up. So by the time Klinger got to it, he was trying to angle that side cross-court because he couldn't go down the line with it.
Can't make the pickup as Humberg and Klinger earn the side out, but they find themselves trailing by 6 here in game number 1.
It's a better spot there from Humberg. She's making Oncins reach just a little bit right there. I like that spot. She's got to stay there, if not go down the line.
Big swing there from Klinger, and I can see what AJ meant when she said she feels that Mari says CJ feels like he's getting bigger, because he gets big in that middle, guys.
Somehow Bohnert gets out of the way of that one. Humberg going straight for the left shoulder. Bohnert wasn't sitting on that backhand.
2-7-2.
Nice combination. Riley Bohnert all over it.
So that's the move that Bohnert and Oncins can expose. When Klinger comes all the way over like that, just find the spot behind him quick with a little pace. Just get it down, and that's exactly what Megan Fudge and Jack Monroe did and had success with.
Second serve.
That time Bohnert can't make the pickup, so second serve coming, but Oncins and Bohnert still up 7-2-2.
7-2-2.
Oh, couple of good spots there from Bohnert. Goes left foot on Klinger. That ball got behind him a little bit. Something that potentially he can be aggressive on if he takes that earlier, but then she pulled him middle and then pushed out wide, caught that backhand. Good sequence there.
Klinger again can't make the pickup as this is quickly turning into a one-sided game number one. Another timeout coming for Klinger and Humberg.
It's the universal sound for timeout as Klinger drops his paddle, it bounces on the ground. Just out of frustration right there is, I understand he wants to pull that back, and I don't mind that, because as that ball's in the middle, you have Oncins sitting there in the middle. If he can pull that back, he's got him there. What then Klinger would look is, can he Ernie? Does he get it far enough behind Oncins? And then it'll allow Mari Humberg to step in the middle, or he's just kind of resetting that back and getting back in the point.
But at a 7-point deficit in game number one is now the time to try and mix things up, because you're 2 points away from dropping game number one, or do you have nothing to lose when you're at a 7-point deficit?
No, at this situation, right, you take chances, you take risks, you have to try to take Bohnert and Oncins out of their rhythm right now. So, yes, there's an error right there, but if you can expose something that you can take into game two, now's the time to do it, to try to find some sort of rhythm.
What they found is a winner from Oncins, and it's brought up game point.
Well, Klinger did find the backside of Oncins right there, but he didn't hit the next ball for a winner. Oncins came back. He didn't get enough on it.
10-2-2.
10-2-2. Tags him on the shoulder, and game number one goes the way of Eric Oncins and Riley Bohnert, 11-2. Don't go anywhere. We will have game two action coming up here in the first of our two semifinals in mixed doubles here at the 2024 Zimmer Biomet APP New York City Open.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell them I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Stepping on the gas, no brake light.
Veteran, trailblazer, and still absolutely golden.
I shake 'em up. Guys, I'm the same guy, on the same grind. Busy printing money, watch the dry. My intuition told me through the grapevine that I'ma get rich and I ain't lying. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
That was a look back at our Vlasic Instant Classic from Cincinnati. Here is what's coming up here on the APP. Following this, it's the Newport Beach Open. That is the third major of the season already, guys. That is over the July 4th weekend. And Chicago, Dallas, Southern California, and Boca Raton here as we are back underway in game number 2 of our mixed doubles semifinal, number 1, after Eric Oncins and Riley Bohnert cruised to an 11-2 victory in game number 1.
Oh, just a little flat there from Klinger. He had the opportunity. I think there's been a couple of times where he second-guessed the speed up against Oncins. Oncins sits very heavy on that backhand side.
1-0-2.
You were mentioning in between the break, Oncins newer to the APP Tour, but he's a veteran when it comes to the sport of pickleball. As the quick side out as Klinger and Humberg get back on serve.
Yeah, he's been playing longer than anyone on court here. Oh, CJ, though. CJ's been playing a long time, too, about 8-9 years. But I think right here, the difference maker for Humberg and Klinger, they need to attack Bohnert maybe a little more here. Oncins saw too many opportunities in that first game. They've got to find Bohnert a little bit more here.
Able to get on the board. Dom, how do Klinger and Humberg go about finding Bohnert more?
Well, they've got to get it to her sideline right now. Humberg's fighting in the middle, but Oncins is able to create out of that middle. So she's got to find that sideline straight up on Bohnert, but I think right now she's not very comfortable going straight down that line because of that cut backhand that she uses.
Humberg does play with that extreme slice, especially on the backhand side. It makes her so effective, but you're right, trying to go forward is a little bit more difficult at that angle, as a missed third brings up a second serve.
Yeah, it's not easy to hit that cut flat right down the line. It's come more comfortable for her to pull that to the middle.
There's the fast hands at Klinger on display.
Well, it's a good step in there from Klinger, and he speeds that ball up. But what does he do? He speeds the ball up low at Oncins right there, and he gets it down to his knee or shin height, pops up the next one, and he's able to get the put away.
Yeah, wrong spot there from Oncins. You see, sorry, that's my fault. That's a very ambitious reach in and speed up there.
2-1-1.
2-1-1. First time all day that Humberg and Klinger have had a lead.
So I'm surprised with that pattern right there of not testing Klinger's backhand.
Why are you surprised?
Well, I will say this, his backhand is a lot weaker than his forehand. Yeah. But, you know, Klinger's all the way over right there, and I understand that they're isolating Humberg, but...
And for the most part here, too, this game is being played on 10 feet of court. The game is being played on the right side, right in front of Riley Bohnert and right in front of Mari Humberg. You see both the gentlemen. Watch this. They'll step in. This game is being played right on this side.
Get a midpoint switch.
Humberg tried for the ATP. Couldn't quite land it, the side out.
The fancy footwork there from CJ Klinger.
Well, he overran the butt right there. But the other thing is the difficulty going down the line with those dinks is it's very easy to leave that dead dink and leave yourself susceptible to that speed up.
into the net. Second serve on the way.
I'm going to call it a
nerd or the nerd.
Created a new shot.
Yes, I like it. Always thinking of new things here.
That's what I'm here for. Klinger misses the dink, a point, as it is now a 1-point game here in game number 2.
Side out.
Chad and I almost kind of laughed a little bit. Bohnert put her paddle up for Oncins to tap, and she stood there, and she was like, "Oh, fine, I'll hit it." It was like the high five no one wanted.
Oh, it's kind of like when you try to high five me or Chad in the booth.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
All right.
See right there, much better movement from Humberg and Klinger as they moved the ball inside and out, moved the ball side to side, and eventually got a ball up enough that they could find a hole in the middle.
It's given them a 4-2 lead here in game number 2 after Oncins and Bohnert took game 1 11-2.
There it was right there. That's a nice ball. Klinger tried to do, when we talked about the end of game 1, he tried to pull that back and he hit it in the net. This one he pulls behind. He gets the pop-up from Oncins, and there's that little trigger pull from Humberg.
Humberg just got a little bit too far back in the court. Second serve on the way.
Yeah, good step over there from Oncins, taking that ball as Bohnert was coming up after the return.
That's a great setup.
That was the highest lob I've seen. That ball was straight up in the air off of Humberg's paddle.
Oncins and Riley Bohnert calling a timeout, finding themselves trailing in game number 2. As we are trying to level things up at 1 game apiece. AJ caught up with Eric Oncins' dad and talked to him a little bit about how he feels like his son's playing.
Yeah, Dorian, it's pretty cool for Jaime Oncins, Eric's dad, to be back here in the shadows of Arthur Ashe Stadium, where he himself played in many a U.S. Open. He represented his native country of Brazil in the Olympics in '92 and 2000, and then was a coach of the team in 2001. And so he gave his son a little coaching here before this semifinals mixed pro doubles match. He said he told him to just have fun, to settle in and focus on his game. And then after they took game 1, 11-2, he reminded his son, hey, that's great that you took game 1 the way you did, but this is the semifinals. It is only going to get tougher.
Thanks, AJ. It has gotten tougher here in game number 2 as CJ Klinger and Mari Humberg have stepped up the level of play. CJ also talking to his dad during that timeout. Those two very close. Klinger from Columbus. The dad travels everywhere with them. They are very connected in terms of how they play.
Ooh, I like the little 1-2 combo there from Bohnert, but doesn't get on top of that next ball.
I would have liked to seen the shift go with the forehand, then a shift to the backhand. She doesn't shift, and she gets jammed up on the forehand.
Nice placement there from Bohnert to earn the side out.
Again, another tough ball there from Klinger. Stepping over that far, if you don't end the point, then it does open up the court back behind him. We've seen Bohnert being able to fight off that attack a couple of times and go in that direction for the winner.
Nice hands in the middle from Klinger. He reads that speed up from Oncins as he tries to find the hole in the middle.
2-7-2.
Klinger again being able to split that middle. What's he seeing differently here in game number 2?
Well, Bohnert went a little too many to Klinger right there. He was able to dial it in and put pressure on her so she gets the pop-up. She needs to flatten that out, go right back down the line to Humberg, and get back in that right there where she's going face up with Mari Humberg.
Oh, a little reverse flick right there. Take another look at that.
Come on. 8-2-1.
Maybe got a little gift from Oncins. That ball right around the line.
Oh, fighting over it right there.
See that play from Klinger again, the backhand ATP.
I think there was a little reverse flick in there. Yeah. That ball definitely going in there from Oncins, but yeah, it's that. It was the reverse flick around the post.
Style points from CJ Klinger. Humberg comes up short on the cut. Second serve on the way, but it is a 7-point advantage here in game number 2 for the duo of CJ Klinger and Mari Humberg.
Side out.
Side out.
Yeah, and that's something that Humberg and Klinger have been able to do here in game 2 is kind of neutralize the power of Oncins. Definitely haven't given him the opportunity to be able to speed as many balls up or reach it and flick. But also on the third shots.
Good eye there from Humberg as the roll sails long.
Yeah, nice idea right there, though, from Oncins, as he had found a ton of success in game 1 with that little roll. Nice spot there from Humberg on the counter, and they hold quickly.
This has shades of game number 2 from their quarterfinal matchup after they dropped, as Chad pointed out, game number 1 to Fudge and Monroe, 11-3.
Ooh,
just long.
Oncins, he tried to sell it, and then he even was like, no, you're right, it's out. He looks back at us.
And it brings up game point.
I don't fault him for trying to sell his shot right there, and then he comes up a little short there.
So game number 2 goes the way of Mari Humberg and CJ Klinger, 11-2, as they even this matchup at 1 game apiece. We will head to a winner-take-all game 3 here in our mixed doubles semifinal at the Zimmer Biomet APP New York City Open.
Less is more, unless it's less beer.
Fat tire.
Nothing brings us together like Eggland's best eggs. We love the taste, always so fresh and delicious, plus superior nutrition. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
UTR has unveiled the official pickleball rating system of USA Pickleball and the APP. Get your rating today at utrsports.net. Welcome back to Championship Court here in the first of two mixed doubles semifinals here on this beautiful Friday at the Zimmer Biomet APP New York City Open. Mixed doubles going right now. We've got singles gold coming up later. It is a full slate of action here from the grounds of the USTA National Tennis Center.
Oh.
Both of them.
That was a little awkward all the way around right there. Better ball movement there from Bohnert, but Klinger taking the opportunity to speed up, and I think that's where he has to play here in Game 3 is look for the opportunity to speed up. Humberg's going to set him up. It's in. It's in. Oh, he went for the reverse flick again around the post.
I think it was too much. Like he had too much room. He had
that's a regular backhand shape around right there rather than the reverse flick.
That time Humberg can't make the dig, and Bohnert, come on, as they have evened this up at 1 point apiece here in game number 3. This winner-take-all third game. Klinger and Humberg evened it up, taking game number 2 11-2 after Bohnert and Oncins won game 1 11-2.
I thought I saw it. Bohnert hurt herself on the come on. I kid you not. I saw her pull up lame, and then she was just rolling
off the edge guard
right
of Oncins.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I thought I saw something too. And there's something back there. Grab that behind.
Take a second to clear the court.
It's the celebrating injury. What is it? Edwin Diaz from the New York Mets.
I was thinking Dre Greenlaw blew his Achilles in the Super Bowl this year.
Hey, Edwin Diaz, right around the block at Citi Field, when he blew his knee out in celebration in the World Baseball Classic. He was out all last year. Oh, great setup.
Put away there for Klinger.
Great setup right there from Mari Humberg as she starts with that roll, and then Klinger pinching middle hard with the forehand, being that big lefty, takes over.
Great hands all the way around.
But that's a good speed up there from Oncins as well. It's a medium pace speed up, but it's elevated. And he did a good job of not jumping over and getting too extended in front of Bohnert, letting her finish that one off.
Bohnert getting just a little bit too big there.
Well, that's a case of too much body movement with that one.
I don't mind it. I think it's there, but like you said, Chad, the body's moving way too much and you're not in control.
That time Bohnert can't make the dig. Back-to-back points for Klinger and Humberg.
3-1-2.
Oh,
Klinger stepping across. It was wide open.
No, it's an excellent read there from Klinger, and he tried to hook it back behind Oncins. Just came off the paddle a little flat.
1-3-1. Second serve.
Second serve on the way as it floated wide. The breeze is kicking up here a little bit on championship court.
I was going to say earlier, I was like, I know it's very selfish of me, but I wouldn't mind a breeze in the booth right now.
We're used to you. It's okay.
Oh, good hands there, and good defense from Bohnert and Oncins as they fight their way back, and then Klinger just a little too big.
Oncins and Bohnert battling their way into the semifinal. It took 3 games to get past Allison Harris and Andre Mick. Humberg stepping across and putting it away.
But this time, Humberg not. Sorry, I can't even finish what I was saying because Mari's turned around and shook her head at me. This time, she wasn't surprised about the flick from Oncins. She was sitting all over that elevated speed up.
Oh, nice catch. Good hands there from Bohnert.
Unfortunately, it doesn't count for her. It was good hands. You and I can appreciate that.
I can appreciate that. That would be what we call PFPs for you, Chad.
Dude, I was a freaking two-way guy. My gosh, I was a position player and a pitcher.
You don't feel like one.
That doesn't happen. Oh,
that time, Bohnert, yep, just came up a little bit short.
Actually, people that are athletes play 2 positions, not,
no,
just one side of it.
This has been a very evenly matched semifinal here between Mari Humberg, CJ Klinger, and Eric Oncins and Riley Bohnert. And nowhere was that better on display than our Gamma Live to Play rally of the match. It came a little bit earlier, guys. This one had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, again, it's the speed up there from Oncins. It takes it off the top edge. Humberg and Klinger thought it was out. Klinger going for just a little too much there, trying to get his second reverse flick ATP.
Oh, it is Mari Humberg and CJ Klinger that are holding on to a 3-point lead here in game number 2, trying to play their way into the gold medal match of the men's pro mixed, or the mixed pro doubles rather. They would be the first team to advance. We'll be waiting the winner of the next semifinal that is coming up. That is between Rob Nunnery and Susanna Barr and Will House and Bobby Oshiro.
That's a great crossbody speed up there from Riley Bohnert. She gets the ball on her left hip, and she finds the left hip of Mari Humberg.
That's it. The last
all over that.
Yeah, last couple of points, Oncins has made an effort of reaching in and starting that faster pace. It's something that he's kind of lacked in game 2, didn't really have the opportunity.
Right down the middle.
I think Humberg played an out ball right there. Ball from Oncins. He's attacking the left hip with a drive. Ball's going to end up 5 feet out, but luckily they come out on top of that one.
Bohnert a little frustrated with herself there. She comes up short in the net. Gives the serve back over to Humberg at 5-2-1. Backhand flick, just a little bit long. Second serve on the way.
I like that attack. She's trying to go body up on Bohnert, but Bohnert reads it well, knowing she's going to flick that. She slides, gets out of the way.
Oncins cut it just a little bit too fine.
Yeah, hands by Klinger there, though, after the kind of half-hearted only attempt from Humberg. Klinger stepped over, kept him in that point, and then the heavy cut there on the backhand from Humberg.
Well, that's where I want to see Humberg go. I want her, she can go to that middle spot a couple times, but I want to see her just go hard one cross court with that backhand. Keep Oncins honest there, then let him come back. If he works it back, fine, but he's just sitting middle and you're not moving him anywhere. She's got to move him a little more.
4-point advantage for CJ Klinger and Mari Humberg here in game number 3. Another timeout taken by Oncins and Riley Bohnert. Guys, what do they need to change here?
No, it wasn't a timeout from them. It's an end change timeout.
Oh, an end change. You're right. Thank you.
Referee timeout.
But still, they need to change something if they're down by 4 points. What do they need to change here if they want to make up the deficit?
Well, I think Oncins needs to be a little bit more aggressive, and in order to do that, Bohnert has to put some pressure on with, some of those pressure dings where, okay, you're going for a little bit more. You may make a mistake. You may pop a ball up, but I think your hands are good enough there. But you have to create the opportunity for Oncins to reach in and flick. Right now, the dinking is kind of just push dinking. There's not a whole lot of pressure being applied to Humberg and Klinger.
That one misses wide. For those who may not be familiar, you're talking about push dink versus pressure dink. How do you distinguish between the two?
Push dink has more height, and it kind of, when it bounces, it's not penetrating or gaining any depth in the kitchen. Whereas a pressure dink is it's penetrating through the kitchen. It's pushing your opponents back.
2-7-1.
Oh, fast hands there from Humberg.
But it was a pressure dink from Klinger, hard cross court. It forced just enough of a pop-up off the paddle of Bohnert where Humberg could step in and speed up.
Klinger can't make the pickup. A point for Bohnert and Oncins, but it is still a 4-point deficit here in game number 2.
3-7-2.
3-7-2. Oh, Oncins thought he got the back of the line. Klinger and Humberg call it out.
We'll get our first challenge here of the semifinal.
We have a challenge of the alcohol. The alcohol puts us at 4-7-2.
We take a look at the replay. That one is close in that replay, but we need that side-on replay to be able to make an educated guess because we're not referees.
My average on replays this year is well below the Mendoza line. So video review is something that's been incorporated this year. Here is how players can challenge the calls. Only line calls are reversible. It must be a rally-ending shot. You cannot challenge a call that's in the middle of a rally. You cannot go back. You don't have a limit on challenges. However, there is a technical warning after you use 3 and lose them. You fail the challenge. And so then a technical warning is implied. This is the first challenge issued by either side. So the call on the court, Humberg and Klinger called it long.
Oh, that's right on the line.
Looks like it's right on the line right there. Is in the our video review referee is
now again. I say it's right on the line. I very well could be wrong.
Ken Schoonover in the booth. Our lead is Carol Manifold. Second is Lisa Hageman. Our tracking referee is Joanna Corker. Speaking with Carol Manifold right now.
And so if this call is overturned, it would be 4-7-2. Oncins and Bohnert would stay on serve. The deficit would now be down to 3. And so it may not seem like a big difference between 7-3-1 and 4-7-2. But again, in a winner-take-all game number 3, and you're trying to come back from a deficit, guys, every point matters.
Oh, absolutely, and especially now you're on a little bit of a run. Momentum shift coming in.
Both of these teams coming off 3-game matches in their quarterfinal as well. This one's gone to 3. It is a warmer day here today, so that's something that has been a discussion amongst the players today. Hydrating, staying cool as we're moving through the entire mixed doubles bracket today. And this is a longer video challenge, guys.
Yeah, it is, and taking a look at it, just want to make sure that they're getting the right call, and I think Joanna Corker making sure that the score is right when we come back into play here.
After video review, the call is overturned. The ball was in. No loss of a challenge. 3 challenges remaining. 3 challenges remaining. It was 4-7-2. It's now 5. We'll resume play at 5-7-2 with Eric serving.
No, it was 3. It was 3, and now it became 4.
Thank you. We'll resume play at 4-7-2.
Chad stepping in to help with the score here. You're doing a little bit of everything,
Hey,
Chad.
you know, we're tracking referees up here too.
Time in.
So the call is overturned. It is now 4-7-2.
I know. Fish was looking this direction. Oh, Bohnert's all over it.
And it was right there for the put away. Bohnert just pulling it into the bottom of the net.
Again, that is Humberg pulling on Oncins wide and then creating some movement and a hole in the middle, but Bohnert not able to put that put away.
Net cord is cruel to Oncins as it pops up for a Humberg put away.
Well, that's a
cruel's an understatement.
A little bit of a momentum killer there for Humberg and for Bohnert and Oncins as well.
Oh, backhand roll just inside the line for the winner.
Bohnert thought that ball was going way out. And then the heavy spin there from Humberg.
I talked to Mari Humberg yesterday while she and Yuta Castillo were warming up in singles on championship court, and she said that she felt like she was hitting her topspin a lot better this year. Typically, we've seen her, we talked about the heavy undercut and the slice, but the topspin for Humberg.
We're going to get a challenge back here.
See, and this is perfect.
And I think
again,
this is a good challenge.
If you think for any moment that you have it and it's close enough, use it. It's a timeout right here. There's no reason for Mari Humberg not to challenge this and see. You got a 5-point lead. This could change things immensely.
Well, if it's overturned, it's going to give Humberg and Klinger match point. I mean, you're two points away from moving into the gold medal match.
Honestly, I think this is a good challenge as well. I think it was pretty close.
Early on in the season, guys, we saw players maybe not utilize the challenge as much, not being used to having it.
Well,
and so it's come into play more here over the last few tournaments.
But it is only when we're on the stream as well. So that's something that you have to remember coming through, because their last match on court in the quarterfinals didn't have it. So now we're in the semifinals on the stream. Now the challenge is under review.
And sometimes, too, you talk to players, right, off court. And remember, before we had challenge system, they used to want to challenge all the time.
No one wants to be wrong.
And now it's like you have that opportunity, and they're like, well, I don't want to be wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that guy or
I don't want it
girl.
replayed over and over and over again of me making the wrong call.
Right.
That ball was extremely close.
So our second challenge here in the last handful of points here in game number 3 of our first semifinal was called out on the court.
That's close.
The only issue is we can't see a little bit of the ball that's out of the screen on that replay right there.
And again, a longer review, looking at the call, making sure the score is correct.
That's close from that angle right there.
Yeah, we'll see the
when we see the sideline,
the baseline view.
So oftentimes when you're at the baseline and the ball's in front of you, it's really difficult to tell where it lands because you don't have quite the perception of where it is in relation to the line.
And you have 4 players on court right now that absolutely positively are not trying to hook anybody here. You know, they're not trying to hook anybody or really hurt anybody here. Honestly, it's so close, and if I'm Bohnert too right there, it almost looks out from the position she's in. So,
it is
out. Okay,
but that's the
those are the
perception.
margins,
That's
right?
but that's the perception as well. So, the first view was from behind. It looks like it lands on the line.
And then you also have the perception from Mari Humberg from the other side,
where you don't have
you don't have that, and it almost does look like it's.
Well, and you've got a net and a net cord in the way.
Correct.
So we'll take the time to make sure the call is correct after the video review.
Still a 5-point lead here for Humberg and Klinger in the driver's seat in game 3.
And they would stay on serve even if the call does stand. It would be second server. So really, you're right. Humberg doesn't really lose anything by deciding to challenge this. It does give a little break in the action.
Video review. The ball was out. The challenge is lost. Two challenges remaining. 3 challenges remaining. We'll resume play at side out 4-9-1.
We resume play at 4-9-2 after the call is 9-4-2 after the call is upheld on the court.
Time in. 9-4-2.
Loved it right there from Bohnert. Loved it. She was not afraid to continue to go cross court with Klinger, and then she just flattens it out and goes to Humberg. She moved the ball around. She created that.
We haven't seen Bohnert create quite as much here in this match, but did so in a pressure moment. And then Oncins comes up short on the pickup. Second serve on the way.
Four 9-2.
4-9-2.
Side out.
That's not what you want when you're trying to make a comeback.
Oh, so a
9-4-1.
quick hold, 9-4-1. How about the defense, though, from Humberg on the ATP?
She attacked it.
I know.
She attacked the ATP from Bohnert. She didn't back up. She went at it.
Waffle House style, smothered and covered, all over that line.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I've never eaten at a Waffle House, just to let you know.
Oh, we got to fix that.
No. Yeah, it won't happen.
Match point sails long off the paddle of Oncins, and Mari Humberg and CJ Klinger, our first duo into the mixed pro doubles gold medal match. When we come back, we will hear from our finalists here on center court at the Zimmer Biomet APP New York City Open.
Need to sell tickets for an event? From Sports Illustrated's official ticketing platform, introducing Box Office. Manage ticketing for sports, festivals, fundraisers, and more, paid or free. And we go beyond the barcode. Introducing Super Ticket. Super Tickets are secured by blockchain technology and transform into exclusive digital content, promotions, and rewards between the event and guests. Cheaper, better, simpler, more secure. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Partner with us for your next event.
People play pickleball for exercise, competition, or to hang out with friends. What your reason is doesn't matter to Gamma. What matters is that you play, that you enjoy playing with passion, and you have so much fun you can't wait to play again. At Gamma, we offer paddles perfect for all levels, including yours, because pickleball is about you, the player, and what feels right. Pickleball is your game. Make Gamma your paddle. Play to live, live to play. Gamma Pickleball.
The APP is sponsored by Gamma. Play to live, live to play. Skechers Pickleball. Experience comfort that performs. And Humana, official healthcare partner of the APP Tour.
And it's Mari Humberg and CJ Klinger punching their ticket through to the gold medal match in mixed doubles. We're going to throw it down to AJ McCord, who is courtside with our winners.
Mari, CJ, congratulations on a really critical win here in our mixed pro doubles semifinal. Mari, you and I were talking about earlier the dynamic between you and CJ, how this relationship on the court has played out. CJ, how important was that after dropping game one to come back and take games 2 and 3?
Yeah, Mari's been so solid the whole tournament. Apparently, I'm on another planet every first game. Like I keep not showing up in the first game every time. But Mari is there to help me.
Thanks, CJ. There you go. So talk about that relationship, Mari, and for a relatively newer partnership here on the APP. It's been a while since you've played a tournament together, and yet at least on the communication side, you guys have picked up right where you left off.
Absolutely. So the last one we played together was in Dallas last year, and we did make the semis, so we had a good run. But this is our first final together. Looking forward to that a little bit later today. But the energy is great. He says he didn't show up. He showed up. He's always here. He's incredible.
So if you want to change one thing from semifinals to finals, what do you guys focus on to get ready?
Well, I'd like to win the 2 games instead of losing the first one. I think just come in like a little bit warmer and feeling like we have a good, solid game plan going into the final. I think that would be the one thing.
Congratulations. We'll look to see you then.
Thank you. Thank you.